Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this virtual CP meeting on UDIN. I formally welcome CA Chandrasekhar V. Chitale sir, CCM, CA Shri Dr. S.B. Jhavre sir, speaker in this session, CA Ranjit Kumar Agarwal, speaker in this session, CA Samir Latta, Chairman and Treasurer, Pune ICI, and CA Kashinath Pathare, Vice Chairman and Secretary, Pune ICI. Now I request CA Samir Latta to give his opening remarks.
Thank you, Lonikar sir. Respected CA Dr. S.B. Jhavre sir, today's speaker. CA Ranjit Kumar sir in absentia, he is expected to join soon. CA C.V. Chitale sir, Central Council member. CA Shashikant Lonikar sir, today's MOC, and all the participants. Good evening and welcome on this today's webinar on UDIN. It is our privilege that our Guru of all the chartered accountants, CA Dr. S.B. Jhavre, and who is also the author or pioneer of this UDIN, as all of you know, is a speaker. Thank you, sir, for giving your time for Pune branch for this very needed subject. Lot of queries are there in minds of people till there. So it is really great that none other than you, who are UDIN, author of the UDIN, is speaker with us. I personally thanks on behalf of Pune branch and all the participants to see Dr. S.B. Jhavre sir for giving his valuable time for this session. Thanks, sir. Welcome again. Over to Lonikar sir.
Thanks, Samir. Now I request C.V. Chitale sir to give his address.
Well, thank you. Honorable Chairman, Coordinator and Faculty for the session, and Chair AOSSG, CA Dr. S.B. Jhavre. As far as UDIN is concerned, this is a great concept, and it has been contributed to the world by India, and to the India by none other than CA Dr. S.B. Jhavre. Because of one incident, and I'm sure that in his lecture he will cover that incident, how the UDIN has been, concept has been coined by him. Let me tell you, after advent of UDIN, now the focal thing was protecting the chartered accountants from unauthorized use of his signature. And this particular practice was rampant prevalent. Maybe one was noticed by none other than Jhavre sir, and then he could come out with this concept. But there may be many more such fake certificates being utilized by some unscrupulous people. Besides, for bank finance, even the reports are on record that even tax audit reports, company audit reports, they were also signed by forced signatures, and they were getting uploaded or submitted to the, in case of paper filing, submitted to respective departments. And the person never knew that he has done that tax audit or company audit or any other certification. Because of UDIN, abruptly everything has stopped and halted. And when Ranjit joins, he will have the latest figures. But crores of rupees of fraudulent loans and certificates, they are also unearthed by the banking industry. And to that extent, this particular UDIN has helped. So definitely this novel concept of UDIN is giving great advantage to the chartered accountants. And it has come for the benefit of chartered accountants that their signatures are not misused by somebody without his knowledge or even without his knowledge, because ultimately it is for a chartered accountant, the signature carries the value, and that value is reflected in the statements which are attested. So if some valueless statement is attested, ultimately it is the profession which takes the beating. That gets avoided because of UDIN. Only I had occasion to attend UDIN meeting months ago, because now various departments are also insisting on UDIN, like Income Tax Department and GST. And if the UDIN is not there, they are considering that the tax audit report itself is invalid and they will not consider. But let me place on record that unless there is change in Income Tax Act, the tax audit report which is not having UDIN cannot be rejected. Yes, they can check the authenticity, there is no doubt about it. But then the Income Tax Act does not today give permission to the Income Tax Department to treat it as invalid. That is number one. And second observation, which I discussed with number of professionals and council colleagues, is that what is the primary object of UDIN? The primary object of UDIN is to protect the interest of a chartered accountant. But it is now going beyond that, and now it has become an obligation rather than getting a protection. So where chartered accountant for one or the other reasons misses taking out UDIN, then he also is subjected to disciplinary jurisdiction. So I have appealed UDIN Directorate that you have to consider this in a wholesome manner, a tool which has come as an assistance to the chartered accountants. If it becomes impediment in their practice, that also needs to be considered. So where they are interested in having protection, it's fine. But where they are not so interested, like in case of say tax audit report, because primarily a person furnishing that tax audit report is identifiable. So if the department has to take a view, they can ask the chartered accountant whether it is your report or not. And if he says that it is forged, then they can definitely prosecute the assessee. So these are some of the thoughts which I have discussed with UDIN Directorate, and I'm sure in due course of time, they will also legitimately think that this UDIN doesn't become an impediment in practice for chartered accountants, and really it is a facility, a utility. It continues as such, and it continues to protect our signatures and the professional in an overall manner. Today, we are specifically happy that the person who gave this UDIN to the world, because you may be aware that it is adopted much belatedly by the ICAI. The idea was given maybe a couple of years ago. After this particular UDIN, which was adopted by ICAI, then in the meetings of SAPA, CAPA, whatever all World Chartered Accountants organizations are there, our institute has showcased this idea, and number of these institutes are readily embracing the idea of UDIN, and they have requested ICAI to help them out in implementing UDIN in their various countries. So this is particularly a gift by our country, by our city, by our own chartered accountant, SB Zavre sir, to the world at large, in a mission to protect the profession and to help chartered accountants to avoid being cheated by using forced signature. So we are really proud of you, sir, and it is our privilege that today what is UDIN, how it is to be used, we are getting it understood from you who is the author. And thereafter, Ranjit has taken over this committee. So Ranjit also will tell us the statistics and other information. And then maybe in question and answer, there may be several issues. So those issues can be discussed. And a typical issue is now the room available is 15 days for taking out UDIN from the date of attestation. So if that time has lapsed, what should I do? So maybe faculties will address this and such other issues. Thank you very much and happy learning.
Thank you, Chitale sir. We are fortunate to have two stalwarts from our profession today. One who invented, authored, and conceptualized this UDIN concept, that is Shri SB Zavre sir, and one who implemented this for all our professionals, Shri C. Ranjit Kumar Agarwal. In my opinion, it is a Z security provided to all the members without any cost. I will introduce them one by one. Though their achievements runs in pages, I will try to introduce them in short.
Shashikant, if we give only 1 paise per certificate, Zavre sir will be millionaire.
I'll be the rich person.
So that is why, sir, I called it Z security. Okay, CA Dr. Shivaji Bikaji Zavre. He is chair of Asian and Oceanian Standard Setters Group, AOSSG, of 27 jurisdictions in Asia, Asian Oceania region for 2019-21. He is a member of Accounting Standards Advisory Forum of International Accounting Standard Board of IFRS Foundation, London for 2018 to 2021. He is awarded with the Doctor of Philosophy PhD degree by Savitribai Phule Pune University on standardization of accounting practices in agriculture sector in India in March 2019. He is former Central Council member of ICAI New Delhi from 2010 to 2019. And he is the founder, author, and conceptualizer of UDIN for all the professional colleagues. CA Ranjit Kumar Agarwal, he is another faculty for our today's session. He is a
I
practicing
think we
chartered
can introduce
accountant.
him after he before he speaks. We can introduce him rather than now.
Okay, sure, sir. Sure.
Yeah. He has
So
joined
now I
actually.
request.
Welcome, Ranjit
Yeah.
bhai.
Welcome, sir. Jawahar sir.
Namaskar, namaskar.
Namaskar, namaskar.
Now you can introduce Ranjit Agarwal. No problem.
Okay, okay. CA Ranjit Kumar Agarwal, a practicing chartered accountant since last 20 years, a company secretary, also DISA from ICAI. He is a partner in NRSM and associate chartered accountant since last 20 years. Elected to the 23rd Council of the ICAI for the term 2016 to 19 and re-elected for 2019 to 2021. He is the chairman of the Professional Development Committee of ICAI, implemented bank branch audit software. And he is the person who implemented UDIN as chairman of PDC, a landmark reform of ICAI. He is also chairman of Ethical Standard Board of ICAI in 2019, revised the code of ethics after a gap of 10 years. Currently member of standing committee like exam, executive and finance, vice chairman of board of studies and tax audit query review board of ICAI. I request Sri Dhavre sir to take the session forward. Thank you.
Before Jawahar sir take up, just to Jawahar sir is the person who has conceptualized this UDI.
Yes, sir.
And
Yes, sir.
he is the father of this whole new concept of UDI. We as a PDC chairman has implemented his vision.
Thank you, Ranjit bhai. Good evening to all the participants. CA Ranjit Agarwal, the convener of UDIN Directorate, who is the initiator, caretaker, propagator of the concept of UDIN, my brainchild. Thank you, Ranjit bhai.
Now he is world ambassador also.
Yes, when you were the chairman of the Professional Development Committee, the UDIN has taken a new shape for the betterment of the profession and even for development of the image. Thank you for that. During the course of discussions, I am going to talk about the UDIN, and at the end, you will also speak and we will have questions and answers and some doubts in the mind of the participants. C.A. Chandrasekhar Chitale, Central Council member, and who has rightly pointed out some of the concerns for the purpose of UDIN implementation, and who is also a caretaker and the supporter of UDIN, Unique Document Identification Number. C.A. Samir Ladda, the chairman of the Pune branch, as well as having a dual role of a treasurer. C.A. Shashikant Lunikar, the senior member of the profession, and all my near and dear participants for today's UDIN seminar. Ranjit bhai rightly told that I am the father of UDIN and that is my brainchild. It was the year 2011 when the move toward the journey of UDIN was put on the council table. 2011. And from 2011 till 2019, it has taken the different shapes. A forged document. The history is very simple, and Chandrasekhar Chitale rightly talked about. Please give some background how the UDIN is generated. Invention is the necessity of problems and issues. And exactly it has happened in the year 2010 that a document was forged. It was nothing but financial statements, balance sheet, and profit and loss count. And the forged document of a chartered accountant with his membership number with similar stamp was submitted by a businessman to the leading cooperative bank in Pune for the purpose of availing term loan. Now, surprisingly, when I interviewed that businessman also, he said, "Sir, one person came to his office and told him that I am only a chartered accountant in Pune who will give service at your doorstep. You need not come to my office at all. And whenever you need me, please tell me. I will be in your office on the same day and I will give you the necessary service as a chartered accountant." And by that way, a businessman thought that he is a chartered accountant and he said, "I want to submit the financial statements." He was a proprietor, to the cooperative bank for the purpose of availing term loan and other banking facilities. The document was forged and it was submitted to the cooperative bank. Based on that financial statements, bank was not aware that these are the forged documents. The term loan was sanctioned. Fortunately, the repayment of term loan installments was punctual, and therefore neither the bank nor the statutory auditor nor the internal auditor nor the businessman faced any difficulty. Now, what happened in 2010? One of our chartered accountant, C.A. Sunil Yellol, his name is C.A. Sunil Yellol. Primarily, he is practicing at Shirur, but he is also having the office in Pune. He was the internal auditor of that cooperative bank. And he was making a test check that when the term loan is availed, he has taken a particular file of that businessman only, and to his surprise, he found that his best friend has signed those financial statements. And immediately from that table, he telephoned his friend that, "Arey, you are one of the client's financial statements I am viewing." He said, "What is the name?" When the name was told, the respondent, C.A. Vijay Anpat, stated that so and so businessman is not at all my client. What you are talking about, I am not understanding. There is some misgiving, some misunderstanding at your end. When Vijay Anpat has responded like this, the confusion was created. Then what is happening? Because he saw his signature, he saw his stamp, same address, and still he is denying that he is not my chartered accountant. Sorry, he is not my client. And this surprise, they immediately met within an hour for a cup of tea. On that particular day, I was taking a lecture in one of the seminar, and both of them came to me. And he said, I was on the dais. And they said, "Sir, there is one urgent matter." I said, "Wait." After the seminar, we sat and we found that all these documents are forged, Ranjit Bhai. We required 3 days to file FIR. Police department was neither understanding the financial statements nor were ready to take in writing about this forged document because they couldn't understand also. Finally, I, along with both of them, had been to police commissioner of Pune, the highest authority. And finally, FIR was submitted, And immediately the concerned person was arrested. Next day we have gone to the police chowki and we found that person was, who forged the documents, was doing articleship. He never passed his CA examination. And he has prepared number of stamps of chartered accountants along with membership numbers, and it was a practice that he was certifying different financial statements and certificates to the different persons. However, you are aware about the police department. His sister was a lawyer. I will not say liar, but lawyer. And she found out the ways. By the time the police has gone to the office of that person, all these stamps, all those diaries of membership number, the computer, everything was shifted and nothing was available in the office. And finally, the police sub-inspector came to a conclusion, sir, what you are talking about is wrong. It is not there. And finally, he was relieved also. Now, operation successful, patient died. So this was a story. Then I was thinking what to do. I know that these documents are forged. Something I have to find out a way out. And naturally, the title of the story will be Prevention is Better Than Cure. And therefore, started thinking what to do. Because there is a blame on the profession. There is injustice. This is illegal. And this has to be stopped in any case. One day, I can say, Eureka, I got it. And the concept of the UDIN came to my mind. And immediately on the council table in 2011, I tried to put in black and white. And at a very, you can say, raw stage, I conceptualized in the council that the problem is we have to stop the forged documents of a chartered accountant. The professional image is getting spoiled and we have to do something, and this is the solution for that problem. Ranjit Bhai, the council, without further discussions, immediately accepted the concept and the child was born. Right? Child was conceived naturally earlier and the child was born. So this is very important. Even though I conceptualized the UDIN, I initiated the UDIN, the propaganda, implementation part, you are a creator. And when you were the chairman of the Professional Development Committee, and you have formed a separate UDIN committee also, of which you yourself as a convener has taken a task that yes, this is for the betterment of the profession, this is for improving the image of the profession, there is no other alternative, but we have to take ahead, and therefore the journey of UDIN from a recommendatory stage to mandatory stage with effect from 1st July 2019 initiated. So you adopted my child and you have grown that child, and that is very important. Because the Professional Development Committee, and in particular CA Ranjit Agarwal, I can say has taken considerable and landmark initiatives to bring this UDIN in reality and make it mandatory. That is very important because it was recommendatory when I was a council member. For developing the professional image, and very important, not only the professional image, but confidence to the stakeholders. That whatever the document is used, the document is genuine subject to you have cross-checked with UDIN. I am inventor, I am author, I am propagator, but you are not paying any royalty to me. Even 1 paisa per signature will be more than enough, and that is what C.A. Chandrasekhar Chitale was talking initially, that give at least 1 paisa royalty to Javre sir. No problem. But Ranjit, I can say you are a real developer and initiator and the propagator of this UDIN, and naturally C.A. Chandrasekhar Chitale was aware of the story from the beginning. He supported me, and he is the caretaker, and he is also propagator of the idea of UDIN. Can I say that I am very happy with a satisfying note in my professional career to rebuild the image of the profession and give the comfort to the stakeholders for providing qualitative, genuine financial statements and certificates. That is very important. My dear friend, then why UDIN? First, the UDIN is required to combat the fraudulent practice of forging the certified documents of chartered accountants and prevent the users of financial documents, statements, for not having reliable data. That is very, very important. Combat the fraudulent practices hitherto prior to 1st July 2019, which was being followed. I am also thankful to ICAI for relentless pursuit for continued contribution to the nation, keeping into the trust put in by stakeholders. Because ICAI is after all a regulator, and the ICAI has to regulate the profession. ICAI has to develop the image of the profession, and that exactly ICAI has done. ICAI Council has taken the landmark decision of not only monitoring and functions, but playing the effective role as a regulator. I think that is very, very important. Because the ICAI, the licensor, the regulator of chartered accountancy profession, who has taken very effective role as a regulator to mandate the UDIN. That is important. Next, technological solution to the root cause of malpractices and forgery. The technology is at advanced stage, and naturally we have to use the technology and technological solution to root the cause of malpractices and forgery. Ranjit Bhai, I also put like UDIN the unique communication number, USIN, unique communication number on the ICAI table. Because whenever I was Central Council member, and even prior and after, prior to our major initiation for the computer portal development, ICAI portal, there were a number of complaints that ICAI is not replying, the Board of Studies is not taking care of the student. I, as a member of this esteemed profession, I am not getting reply, and therefore I was also thinking prior to UDIN the unique communication number, and that concept I put in UDIN for this purpose. UDIN is a seal of authentication and the genuineness. How do we operate this UDIN? Initially, my thinking was little bit different, but you put in a right track by using the technology appropriately. Rajit bhai, my thinking was like this, that prior to signing any financial document or a certificate by a chartered accountant, He will apply for UDIN, what conceptualized by you, and that number he will put in signed statement. After the statement is signed, he will go back to the ICI, that UDIN portal, and put the key figures. I was seeing at that time 5, minimum 2 and max 5 afterwards. But thanks to you for taking these both steps together, that in case if my financial statement is ready, I have to sign the annual report, I have to sign utilization certificate, I have to sign tax audit report, I have to sign GST report or any other document. Simultaneously, you make an application, instantaneously, within no time, automatically, unmanned, you get the OTP and you get a number, and immediately you can insert on the financial statements. So that is 2 in 1. And while doing that, you yourself insert key figures, maybe the share capital, forfeiture of shares, balance in reserves and surplus, balance at bank, balance sheet total, net profit, turnover, whatever a chartered accountant wants. This 2 in 1 is a stereo system. You have done it, and that's good, very important. So this UDIN, then I was putting that for what UDIN? To give the comfort to the stakeholders. So a stakeholder who will use this financial statement certified by a chartered accountant, he has to ensure genuineness. So I said he will enroll with ICAI, he will prove his credentials that he is a bank officer, he is a bank manager, he is a managing director, he is so and so user. But data is not confidential because UDIN key figures cannot be changed. And therefore, again, I congratulate you that you have rightly put that there are no restrictions. Whosoever knows UDIN number on the financial statement, he can come to the ICAI portal, give his designation, give his name of the concern, and cross-verify whether the key figures are matching. And that is also unique, I can say. You have done the wonder for that purpose. And for that purpose, thankful to the technology developer also, and the ICI and Ranjit Agarwal in particular. That is very, very important. My dear friends, what is the modus operandi of UDIN? The UDIN is unmanned. No number is given by a person. It is automatically, technologically driven a real-time system. It started with conceptualization, gone to the implementation at 2 stages again, recommendatory and mandatory, and it has given good results. Mahatma Gandhi said, good seed sown always yields best plant and tasty fruits. So seed was sown in 2011, and all of us professional chartered accountants, we are enjoying those fruits by way of receiving the confidence from the stakeholders and other regulators also. Dear participants, unique UDIN is 18-digit number. You'll say, what is this 18-digit number? It is good that the UDIN Directorate has given FAQs. Any question which comes to your mind, you will be able to get answer from that FAQ. They have also clarified somewhere that this 18-digit number, the first two digits are talking about a year with 2 number only. For example, 2021. Right now, the UDIN will generated starting with 21, 21 indicate the year in which you have certified that financial statement. Next 6 digits is your membership number. For example, my membership number 014528. That number will come. And the remaining 10 digits is randomly selected numbers by the system, which nobody is aware. Because it is random numbering system, it is not a systematic way, but that number will not be repeated. That's why it is called as unique document identification number. So this is 18-digit number. Now, very important part, you need not disclose your client's name while generating UDIN. So an institute is also not interested right now at this stage that what is the client name? What you require to give, what type of document you want to certify, whether it is tax audit report, whether it is financial statements, EBC circulation audit, bank audit, whatever you want to put, there is a drop down and you select the appropriate one and you create that UDIN. Unique part, while creating this UDIN, you did not upload any document. But what is required, I told you, you are required to insert key figures. Now, what is key figure? Who is to decide? You decide. You want to put balance at State Bank of India, Pune. You can put it, you write there, balance in State Bank of India, this one. A user will open the financial statement with him. He will see the key number, what is the balance in State Bank of India, Pune, and he will match. So minimum 2, and I hope you have put maximum 3. Please clarify if I am wrong on that, because originally I was proposing 5 numbers, key numbers. So with 5, it will be elaborate system, and if not, you can just consider it also. So my dear friends, this system is security check enabled in the portal to ensure delivery of OTP on your registered mobile number or your registered email and UDIN on registered that mobile and email. That is very important. Ranjit Bhai, once a very serious chartered accountant came to me and he said to me, sir, I received a love letter from ICAI. I said, what is that love letter? Disciplinary committee letter. I said, what is the problem? Sir, ICAI is saying that I have certified 325 tax audit reports. While at that time, the number of tax audit reports restriction was 30, not even 60. So I say, all right. Then what is the solution? Being my student, and unfortunately Ranjit Bhai, today he is no more. He has gone in Corona. And he said, I don't know whether you are aware about Sashtanga Dandavat. मराठीमध्ये आम्ही म्हणतो साष्टांग दंडवत घातला, झोपला ऑफिसमध्ये. And he said, you are only a God to save me. I said, I can't save. But how many reports you have signed? You check up. And unfortunately, there was no track and there was no record. But before his case came for hearing, he is no more today. UDIN system today will give the lock. When the number is 60, my dear friends, you cannot create 61, the tax audit report. Of course, for a partnership firm, if there are 5 partners, 60 multiplied by 5, 300, yes, one partner can even sign 300 tax audit reports also with the UDIN number. But as a regulator, this was very, very essential, because why these 325 reports was there? Ranjit Bhai, you may be aware, that once we received a letter from CBDT, and CBDT has given this information that you only put the restrictions on number of tax audit reports, and the members are signing more than that. So automatic check as a regulator. You are also aware about the company audits. When there are restrictions, all these things can be found out. And my dear friend, from the long-term point of view, this is for the betterment of the profession, and it was a need of the day. That is very, very important. You are aware that who can certify the financial statements and certificates? A full-time COP member. That means I am talking about the part-time COP member who is not authorized by the institute, by ICAI, for signing the statements cannot generate EUDIN. And that is absolutely right. There were instances, we are talking at home, there were instances that some of the part-time COP members also certified the financial statements, and that was not right. So automatically there is a check. This EUDIN can be used either for digital signature as well as for physical signature also. If ICAI decides to generate revenue from EUDIN, crores of rupees can be generated. But Ranjit Bhai is very kind. And so far you have not put a proposal on the council table that charge some fees. Because whenever we submit any document to MCA or to RERA or to others, you are required to pay administration charges. But I am thankful to ICAI for taking that bold decision that you are not required to pay any fees for the purpose of generating the EUDIN and implementing the entire system. There is a doubt in the mind of the people that whether wherever I sign, whether the EUDIN is required. And the answer is not necessarily. For example, a student has come to you and he said, please sir, certify true copy of the true copy of my mark sheet. EUDIN is not required. Or sometime a businessman comes, sir, this financial statement is certified my statutory auditor, but I require to submit a copy to the bank. Will you please certify the copy? And when I say certified copy of that original statements which I verified, I need not generate EUDIN. So
Sir,
where
only as far as true copy is concerned, Ranjit Bhai is not happy with true copy because his High Court says something else. So,
Okay.
Ranjit, about true copy, what your Calcutta High Court says?
We will discuss. Let Javade sir complete.
Okay.
Then we'll discuss.
no problem. Wherever there is a controversy, whether there is more discussion required, we can talk about, because we are at home and I think there is a comfort. No problem. But if you want to say something in between, Ranjit Bhai, I have no problem. Shall I continue, or you want to say something?
Continue, sir. Right now, continue.
Only 1 minute. I'll take a pause for a minute. I'll just take a cup of tea. Right. So my friends, I was talking about certified true copy. Ranjit Bhai will give more clarity, and even Chandrasekhar will also join in discussions at a later stage. In case of the bank audit, when we carry out a bank audit, bank branch audit, as well as the audit of a bank also, along with annual report, the number of certificates are required to be certified as a part of that annual accounts. And for that purpose, the doubt is in the mind of the members whether I am required to generate EUDIN for each signature separately. For example, profit and loss account and balance sheet one. I certified NPA. I certified the third statement. For that purpose, my dear friends, your one EUDIN number will be sufficient for the purpose of entire set of documents of one type, because these certificates is a part and parcel of the main statement. Right. One question arises, especially in the beginning, Ranjit, and that question was, sir, I have forgotten to take the UDIN number. I have already issued the certificate. I have already issued the financial statement. What can I do? You have already given relaxation. You have already given the relaxation. And that relaxation has helped the members to clear the backlog. And now it is absolutely all right that UDIN once generated cannot be edited, because it is a chartered accountant who has certified. You have certified, you cannot take back your statement. In a similar manner, UDIN you have generated cannot be edited. However, if there are reasonable cause, you can approach the UDIN directorate, give the cause, and I think you can have the some editing possible. I request Ranjit to give more details about that editing or rectification to some extent. With this background, what are the benefits of UDIN? To secure the document certified by chartered accountant, curb on forged document, authenticity of signature of CA on real-time basis. Members are very happy that this system is not complicated. This is simplified, OTP-based real-time system. UDIN has enhanced credibility and trust among the stakeholders. It is as ICAI, being a regulator of chartered accountancy profession, can generate effective database for the purpose of policy making. Because the institute is able to get information. How many tax audit reports are signed in the country? How many GST reports were signed? I am aware about the change, what has happened now. How many utilization certificates were issued to the financial institutions? All these data can be generated, and which is useful for taking policy decisions from the national point of view. Even the UDIN has created effective database to a regulator for policy making, such as I told you, how many number of tax audit reports signed, how many number of company audits are signed, and whenever there are restrictions, yes, it is possible for the institute to generate various reports for the purpose of policy making. Therefore, I must adhere to the UDIN system completely. My dear friends, as such, ICAI's role as an effective regulator to ensure adherence of members to the rules and regulations, analysis of areas of practice, those statements can be generated. So far, I am glad to inform you, the regulators like MCA, CBDT, IBA, there is Bank Association, Indian Bank Association, SEBI, RERA, all these regulators, banks, other stakeholders, having UDIN on a single click, they have already verified the credentials of a chartered accountant and authenticity and the genuineness of the documents issued by matching key figures inserted while creating UDIN. Dear friends, if you see the statistical data, which is also available on the ICAI website, you can say that out of 3,81,735 members, this is the data as of 31st January 2021, the full-time practice members were 1,46,717, about 38%. And 62% are non-COP holder. Because this is also surprising. Day by day, the full-time COP members are reducing and the no COP members are increasing. Because I remember when I passed out my CA in 1973, 80% members were in practice and 20% members were in service or non-practice. Today the picture is totally changed. But out of these 1,46,717 full-time members, 1,22,500 members, that is about 83% members, have used UDIN system while certifying the documents. And I am glad to inform that as of 18th August 2021, because I have got the latest information from Delhi, that the members registered on the UDIN portal are 1,26,738. And the UDINs generated, you will be surprised with the figure, 2,50,05,470. And therefore, Chandrasekhar Chitale was talking about the royalty on the UDINs generated. So per member on an average, as of August 2021, 197 UDINs created per member. That is also very important. And out of that, there were certificates about 50%, tax and GST audit report 43%, and audit and assurance were 17%. So major is certificates, and the tax audit report and audit and assurance are only 17% UDINs are created. But one surprising data I received yesterday from UDIN Directorate, and that is, my dear friends, with proprietary firm, 70% chartered accountants are in proprietary firm, while 2 to 5 are 27%, 6 to 10 are hardly 2%, 11 to 15, 0.33%, and actually you can see 51 and above is not even 0.01%. And therefore, what is important, my dear friends, we must unite. Similar-minded people should come together. You have to take the advantage of mergers and consolidations, because these are the days, by using the technology, it is necessary for us to come together. And thankful to Council for taking the decision of MDP, multidisciplinary practice, whereby this practice can further improve. I am proud to say that there is appreciation by regulator, number of regulators like MCA, CBDT, IBA, SEBI, RERA. They have already appreciated UDIN, and they are also trying to create UDIN. There is a request from, because ICAI has created a brand of UDIN, you have a patent, you have a copyright, and therefore there is a request from number of global agencies. And I remember when I took over as a chair of Asian Oceanian Standard Setter Group, Ranjit Agrawal was present at Goa, and at that time, all my AOSHG members have appreciated UDIN, and soon they will also have the system of UDIN in their respective jurisdiction and the country. But apart from that, number of SAPA countries like Bangladesh, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, Tanzania, Nigeria, Romania, Singapore, they already put the request to you for the purpose of effective implementation of UDIN. This is the complete information I thought give it to you. But Ranjit Bhai, I have one very important concern, and some concerns are raised by Chandrasekhar Chitre also. Let me deliberate those, and then you can take. You have allowed right now that union can be generated within 15 days of signing the statement. That means you have given a time lag. I am aware. From the long-term point of view, when it was conceptualized, I never agreed for giving the time gap. On the contrary, I was saying before. I was not saying the after, but that was creating a dual system. That 2 times you have to go to the portal and come back. You have created one. I already appreciated it. But what is happening? When I signed the financial statement today, the client has already taken the financial statement from me. He has already handed over to the bank. He has already handed over to another user. And thereafter, if a chartered accountant has created that UD number, how chartered accountant is aware that who is the user of that financial statement, but in particular, sometime, which bank, which financial institution, ICICI or IFCI or IDBI. And therefore, I really have a concern that we should not allow time gap of 15 days because system is already stabilized and now there is no necessity for 15 days. If I have to sign the financial statement today itself the union can be generated. On the contrary, you can permit, if my financial statement is ready today and I want to sign tomorrow, let them create the number because my key figures are also ready, and therefore I have a lot of concern with 15 days time limit. That is number one. Number two, I appreciate the views of Chandrasekhar Chitre also. What he said, that there is a tax audit report. A chartered accountant, signing chartered accountant has to create UDIN and put that UDIN on the tax audit report. In case of the UDIN is not generated and the tax audit report is uploaded on the CBDT portal, is it a valid or invalid document? And answer is, it is a valid document. Because under the Income Tax Act, there is no necessity that the tax audit report must have the UDIN number. Similarly, we can say the financial statements, when I uploaded on MCA portal, in the Companies Act 2013 doesn't mandate me that there must be a UDIN number, or under the Cooperative Societies Act or Multi-State Cooperative Societies Act or the Trust Act and number of other enactments, there is no mandate that the financial statement should be signed by with the UDIN number only. Then in that case, that UDIN is only for internal use between a member and ICAI. In order to make it more transparent, I request, you might have already done it, I am sure, that we have to contact all the regulators and we have to check up that please put mandatory and make, and what is more important is make the amendment in respective act and laws and regulations. I am aware there are a number of complications on this, but somewhere the initiation has to start. That is number two. And third number, what happens? I have forgotten. 15 days have also lapsed. You can't do anything now. That's right. That is the question of members. I say you can't do anything. How can you say when the time limit was allowed to you 15 days, you have already signed a financial statement, preferably you should have created the UDIN at the time of signing. If not, create within 15 days, not done anything, what else can be done? You have not purchased a ticket, railway ticket. and you are already boarded in the train. What can be done? So for that purpose, only my friends, answer is a member concerned is liable for disciplinary proceedings. So with this, I will participate more in questions and answers, and I hand over this mic to CA Ranjit Kumar Agarwal.
Thank you very much, sir. Javare sir, the author and the brainchild behind this very unique concept of UDN. And you rightly said, sir, whatever concept you have given to the council table, we have debated in your time in the council table, and we started with the optional part, because that point of time some council member were agreeing, some were not agreeing. So we have started with the optional part, and gradually we made it mandatory. Now it is being accepted and appreciated by one and all. So that profession is indebted to you, sir, for this very noble concept. Of course, we have implemented, but the idea came from you, concept came from you, which you have given to the profession. As far as, sir, your deliberation, for the benefit of the members, UDN is not a number. When we have conceptualized this concept, that was a number, but gradually we have expanded the scope in such a way that whether we can regulate the profession through UDN, whether we can participate in the development of the economy of this country through UDN, whether our members can effectively contribute to the development of this country through UDN, and so forth. 4 or 5 steps we have designed, and I will explain one by one. As far as this fake certification impersonation is the one part for which the UDN concept was started. And now I will, sir, inform you to this August gathering, including, sir, that more than 700 crores of the fraud unearthed by the UDN alone after this scheme was implemented.
Very good.
How 700 crore we have identified? These are the complaint we have received in writing to the UDN portal by various members and agency. One incident I will tell you. A chartered accountant given a 5 crore net worth certificate to a client, and the client very smartly, same certificate with same UDN number, 5 crore made to 50 crore.
Oh.
One line in between, he just smartly and xeroxed it and given to the bank. Now the banker, now as per the mandate given by the IBA, they are mandatorily verifying every certificate with the UDN on the UDN portal. So the banker verified, and he found 5 crore. So he called the CA. You have given this certificate, yes. What you have given 5 crore, but this certificate is 50 crore. So the CA said, sir, whatever I have given is uploaded in my ICI portal of UDN. You can, well, yes, I have seen that. That's why I called you. So after taking a further clarification from that CA, FIR was filed against the client by the banker. This
Very
is
good.
instance
Very
number
good.
1. Instance number 2, 250 crore rupees tender floated by the Asian Development Bank in the state of Rajasthan. So there is a chartered accountant impaneled with the ADB in Calcutta who take the due diligence work of the ADB. So in that tender, all the company participated, and the tender participant document were given to the firm in Calcutta for due diligence. And they have verified the UDI and everything, and they found nobody qualifying. So they given their report to ADB, and the tender was rejected. After 2 months, it was retendered. And after retendering, another companies were participated, and that CA firm in Calcutta who was doing due diligence, he was verifying one balance sheet through UDI portal, and he remembered the same balance sheet last time he is rejected.
Mm-hmm.
Now the same balance sheet, because he checked the UDI earlier, now again he was checking, he found this is the same balance sheet, same date, same UDI number. Last time it was not qualifying, this time it is qualifying. So he checked all the data. He found one data has 3 places impact, and one data was changed, and the ratio was recalculated, and he was now qualifying. So he made his report, he has given his report, and that to ADB, and ADB cancelled that participant request in that tender. So 250 crore tender was rejected of that participant. Had it not been approved, what would have been the fate of that tender? Nobody knows.
Absolutely.
So
Correct.
like this, 250 crore, 5 crore, 10 crore, more than 700 cases complaint we have. I don't know how many others are doing. So this is the benefit of the UDN alone, where all the participant stakeholders are now getting benefited. Earlier, this kind of system regulator don't have. Even CBI, SFIO, they were saying where to verify this is the charter account signature or not. Where to verify? Online real-time system was not there. They were writing to the ICI. ICI will reply. It will take 1 month, 2 months. Nobody knows. So now, real-time online credential of the CA can be verified by the regulator, stakeholder, and the charter accountant are getting notified by also who is verifying. At 1 p.m. at night, one CA got a SMS, your UDN number is verified by CBI. So he was very fearful, and he called me 1 p.m. at the night. CBI has verified. So I told, what SMS you get? Sir, UDN was verified by CBI. Well, what is the wrong in it? You have given a certificate. That certificate went to CBI. CBI has just checked it is given by you or not. So you got the intimation. So this is the foolproof system where the signature of CA cannot be forged anymore now. I'm giving you one more example of digital signature. Many members are saying, sir, why digitally signed signature UDN required? This is a very valid question. In all the ROC form, income tax form, digitally signed, why UDN is required? How anybody can impersonate the digital signature? One
Yes.
complaint or one clarification we have received in the UDN directorate by one CA, please cancel my 10 UDN number generated by yesterday by my office. So we call that CA, why you are saying this UDN number you can cancel, you can revoke the UDN if you want. So he said, no, what happened? There is a 20 years old trusted employee in my office, and he used to use my digital signature in my absence and with my authorization. That is the normal practice CAs are doing. 10 balance sheet, he has used his signature of his client. 10 balance sheet, that staff use the digital signature CA of not his client, of the client of that staff, which the CA was not aware.
Oh.
So that staff was not aware that the OTP come to the mobile also, because he knew only come in the email. So the CA came to know when the OTP came. So 10 OTP he can understand. Why another 10 OTP? Then he found that staff of that CA has used his signature for 10 another balance sheet, which he was not aware.
Okay. Good.
So
Very
you
good.
tell me, before UDN, same digital signature may be used by the staff. Who is aware?
Absolutely.
Even sir, from that date, that digital signature I am not keeping in my pocket. I am not giving to my staff. If I am in my office, he will take it and then use it and give it to me back. If I am not in office, no digital signature.
No,
These kind of steps I have taken from that date.
Security
So
check.
this is example number 2. And third example I am giving you, in last election, I was conversing in Calcutta, and I called one 80 years old Mr. Bhalutia. Sir, for election purpose, I am calling so and so. So somebody else picked up the phone, and the lady was answering from that side. So I told her that I want to talk to Mr. Bhalutia for election purpose. So the lady said, Mr. Bhalutia expired 3 years before.
Okay.
So then I checked the member section, why his name is coming in the voter list now. If 3 years before he expired, his voter list still carry his name. So the member section in Calcutta said, sir, last 3 years, every year we are getting his membership fees.
Oh. So somebody is using his signature.
Somebody is paying his fees and using his signature. So these were the normal anomalies which were happening before UDN. Now it has been stopped. One example I am giving to Bombay. One chartered accountant firm has generated 1,46,000 UDN in 1 year.
Oh,
1,46,000 UDN. So that CA firm has 3 partners. So when we have analyzed the UDN, who is the maximum generator of UDN, so his name come in the first 3. So I told president to please compliment him. He's doing a good job in the profession. So some encouragement, give him a compliment. So president called him that thank you very much for doing such a wonderful job, profession, this, that, and you have generated so much of UDN. So he was surprised. I have not generated 1,46,000 UDN. So he said, sir, I'm coming back to you after 1 hour. So after 1 hour he called and he said, I have generated only 3,200 UDN. So then we have sent this form to the peer review. Inquiry was conducted and it was found that one of his partners, which 2 partners were not aware, has given his digital signature to a corporate firm, and where in institute record they have changed his mobile number also.
oh.
So the mobile number and the digital signature were used by the corporate person on behalf of that CA, and they were issuing UDN for 15 CB, PMS data, all these things they were using, and that CA was not aware because he has contracted his signature to that corporate for annual fees. So these are the examples I am giving you. These are the repercussions of the UDN which we are able to detect, which we were not able to do before UDN. Number
Absolutely.
2, sir. Number 2, you talked about this certified true copy. Before that, sir, you mentioned that we were thinking the UDN before generating UDN, then you sign and then you like this. So we have debated this aspect in the AASB, and the AASB said, how can you generate a UDN before your signature? Once you sign a paper, and then you can generate the paper. So without signing, if you put the date of signature on the UDN portal without signing the document, that is a wrong practice as per AASB. So then we have changed the concept UDN after signature, not before signature. So this is the number 1. Sir, in this certified true copy, there is a Supreme Court judgment which said that chartered accountants are not a gazetted officer. Now, who can certify Xerox with the original? Postmaster, bank manager, and one more person. And chartered accountant are not the gazetted officer. We have been mandated to give an opinion on the historical data provided to us. That is the various standards, accounting, auditing standards are this conceptual framework are saying like this. But whether we can certify a Xerox copy with the original? No. Because in that certificate, we are not mentioning any opinion. Certified true copy, that is not our mandate. But we are doing on the pretext of the client and the banker. Okay, we need this certificate from CA. So what we are saying, okay, you cannot certify, but you can give a certificate that we have seen the original document, we have seen the data from these sources, and we are giving an opinion like this. But simply saying certified Xerox with the original is not the mandate given to the chartered accountant as far as our knowledge is concerned of various accounting and auditing standards.
I appreciate.
So we make a awareness to the member कि don't certify Xerox with the original. Make a certificate. Okay, we have seen the original, we have seen the data uploaded from this and charge the fees. Take the UDN and charge the fees. Because certified true copy, you are not getting any money also. Because thousands documents you are certifying and not getting anything. So make a certificate and charge the fees and generate the UDN. That is the best practice. We are making awareness to the member. This provisional balance sheet and prospective balance sheet. This is also an area of concern where bankers insist it has to be signed by CA. Again, we have asked to the bankers. Banking Regulation Act does not give any empower to CA to sign the prospective balance sheet or provisional balance sheet. We have a standard. We have a standard called SAE 3400, SRS 4410. On these 2 standards, Institute has given a reporting format. On that basis, you can certify and you can generate UDN and give it. But without that report of SRS 4410 and SAE 3410, we are not mandated to certify prospective and provisional financial statement. As far as this regulatory power tax audit, sir, you are saying 60 tax audit as per code of ethics, one chartered accountant can do. Right now, if your firm has a 5 partner, 300 tax audit can be done by one single partner on behalf of 4 other partner. That is mandate given by the code of ethics. In UDN portal, we are trying to figure it out to have a, like you have said, sir, we can have one limit by within the moment you cross 61, you will be asked the name of the firm and name of the partner on whose behalf you want to. And in the firm number, 300 will be blocked. Like this concept we have developed, but because of the vendors' incapacity, we are not able to do right now, but that is in the pipeline. As far as revenue model is concerned, sir, this was we have Joshi sir and we and Chitle sir also debated whether we can make this membership fees 0 for practicing chartered accountant and whether we can charge per UDN, whichever UDN, whatever number you are generating, you pay as per the number of UDN. If you don't pay, certify, don't pay. If you certify more, pay more. Like this concept we were thinking, but again there are pros and cons and we could not take up the final conclusion so far. As far as this government nation building and the how to frame the policy of the government is concerned, we have identified that there are, say for example, there are 13 lakh company in ROC. In 1 year, we are collecting the UDN generated of the company audit. And last year it came to 9,25,000. So now we are in the process of making a report and giving to the MCA that look, there are 13 lakh company in your ROC system. Our member last year has certified only 9,25,000 company. The rest of the balance sheet, if it is unaudited, fine. If they are audited, we are not responsible. Our member has not done it. You find out who has done it, because our members last year has audited only 9,25,000 company. That is the data which we have derived from the UDN portal. So these kind of reporting we are supposed to give to MCA from next year onwards on this line. On the same line, tax audit. On the same line, listed company. This regulator we can we can make awareness to the regulator. These are the real authentic data given by our member. So don't believe on others' data and you find out where is the gap. And there is one more aspect, sir, just I want to take your input also here. How UDN can help the government to framing the policy. Suppose the government says that last year we have disbursed 50,000 crore rupees in Manrega. Now, you know, sir, Manrega audit is done by only chartered accountant.
Yes.
Now, in the Manrega UDN, when you are going to generate UDN of Manrega, we are asking that CA to put the 2 figures, amount utilized and amount not utilized. So we are in the process to collect all the UDN of Manrega audit and we are collecting the figure. What is the amount utilized and amount not utilized of 1 year. And amount utilized and not utilized comes to 35,000 crore of 1 year. Now we are making a report and giving to the parliament of this country that last year 50,000 crore were disbursed. Our member has certified 35,000 crore, which includes amount not utilized. Where is the 15,000 crore? Because this 35,000 crore includes amount not utilized. So you have disbursed 50,000 crore. Where is the 15,000 crore? That you have to find out. So these kind of awareness example we can give to all the regulator through UDN, which will help them. We are not fault finding. We are helping them to frame their policy, make their system robust, and chartered accountant can play a very active role in these aspects. So these are some of my thoughts, sir, on this UDN concept. I want your input also if you have any ideas.
No, please clarify about 15 days. Why not to generate the UDN at the time of signing the statement?
Why
later?
This concept, 15 days, I'm saying, we have written in the FAQ, UDN has to be generated instantly. In exceptional circumstances, 15 days can be generated. Now we are thinking, because whatever UDN you have said, sir, 2 crore 51 lakh, 92% member of this UDN had generated UDN on the same date.
Okay.
92%. 8% in various dates, 5 days, 7 days, 10 days. So we are in the process to make this 15 days to 5 days, 3 days, and 0 date. That way.
No, good.
That way we are gradually, we are in the process to make this thing, because there is no point in having 15 days. And one more issue which we have discussed with the regulator, revocation of UDN. Once you have signed a report given to the regulator, now there is no limit of revocation. Unlimited time is there. We are also putting a cap, 72 hours, 48 hours. Within that, if you want to revoke, you revoke. After that, you cannot revoke it. This things we are also thinking in that direction.
वो 0 days के पहले करते टाइम एक बार महाराष्ट्र में कनेक्टिविटी नहीं रहता है, लाइट नहीं रहता है, वो भी एक बार ख्याल रखो.
Shekhar want to say something? Any remark, Shekhar?
No, that actually true copy, I think that needs to be highlighted in our newsletter and things.
Absolutely.
And it should be a certificate, because number of cases chartered accountants may be.
Sir, you remember, Javre sir, you remember when I was the PDC, a request come from the Ministry of Information Technology, Ravi Shankar Prasad, that point, in digital signature, the document verification can be done by CA also. And we have debated this point, whether a document required to make a digital signature can be certified by chartered accountant also. Right now, a postmaster and bankers are doing. So we have debated this point, and we said that certification of the document cannot be the domain of a chartered accountant. If we certify Xerox with the original, we are demeaning our signature, and we have rejected that proposal.
And I agree totally.
You agree, sir?
Yes.
So that point of time, we have rejected to the ministry that this task cannot be done by CA. So that kind of confidence we have in our signature.
No, if you can just give roadmap ke which countries are now seeking our assistance.
Right now, sir, internationally, Bangladesh, Nepal, and Sri Lanka already implemented the UDN with the technical know-how from ICI. We have given them the online live demo. We have supported them all the nitty-gritty, and they have implemented UDN in their country. One incident from Bangladesh, president was telling me, the president of Bangladesh country complimented the president of Bangladesh of Institute of Bangladesh, that because of that system, their GDP has grown up.
Very good.
Certification has gone and GDP has grown up. So he has invited him, Prime Minister of Bangladesh invited the president of Bangladesh for complimenting and giving a certificate. So we are also taking them the certificate of appreciation for ICI. Because of the help of ICI, you could implement. So Bangladesh, Nepal already implemented. Sri Lanka in the pipeline with our support. They are in the process.
Very good.
And even cost accountants and ICI have taken this concept.
Cost accountant, ICI already taken our copy.
ICSI,
they are already doing the UDI number. What Javade sir was telling, the unique communication number also, this DIN number given by the income tax department, DIN number, on the same line, they have already implemented the DIN number.
Yes.
And this is also a wonderful idea, this UCN, unique communication number, is also, I heard today, sir, it's also a very good idea.
There is one.
Please make a mute, please.
There is one observation from Vaibhav Moholkar. It is the need of the hour that credentials of UDIN and digital signature be in the custody of the concerned CA.
Pardon, sir?
whatever, no, in Q&A box, it is stated that it is need of the hour that credentials of the UDIN and digital signature be in the custody of only the concerned CA. So whatever policy you have implemented,
First thing, I'm not able to understand the credentials of UDIN. See, when I signed a financial statement and I inserted the key number, whatever the UDIN document available on the ICI portal is public. Therefore, there is no further action required. Now, number of times the question arises as far as our digital signature is concerned, Ranjit Agarwal has rightly talked about, it is necessary to take care, it is our signature. Now, in case if that signature is misused, either in the office, then what will happen? Ranjit, I tell you frankly, just we are in the house, whenever a chartered accountant, cost accountant, company secretary, our clients blindly hand over DSCs to these offices. And if sometime there is a misuse, what will happen is always a question mark. So we do it on trust. So for that purpose also, what Vaibhav is talking about is very important. So it is a security, but we have to keep a trust, because every time the client can't sit for 1 hour or 2 hours. Then what I advised, see, I am a friend, philosopher and guide to many chartered accountants. They ask me questions. Then what I told them, that whenever you receive any digital signature, or when you give your digital signature, please make one register to whom it is given, for what purpose is taken, who received it, sign it, and when you get back, again take a signature of the concerned chartered accountant, because this is the concern of stakeholders also.
Sir, you remember, I don't think whether you remember, on 2018, same ministry we have given a suggestion as a PDC chairman that in the case of digital signature, whomsoever is using my signature, I should get a OTP. And once you confirm the OTP,
Yes.
only then digital signature will be processed.
Yes.
Absolutely, I agree.
Simple solution we have given to the ministry, but it has not been acted so far. But that is the solution of all these checks and balances, security aspect.
Ranjit, what you are talking is absolutely right, because when I give a standing instruction for my investments, even though there is authority, I get a mail either on mobile or on email. I have to confirm, then only that signature can be used.
Yes.
I think this is a very good suggestion, and I request both of the council members to ensure that this system is implemented through the government departments.
This single solution will remove all the.
Absolutely, I agree.
And on the same line, client will also be feel free.
Right,
that
right.
Without OTP, I cannot use his signature.
Right. Take the question answer, Shashikant, from the members. Somebody is raising the hand also. I think Vaibhav Moholkar question is answered. Now we will see in the chat box. There are 3 are there in the chat box. Okay. Nilesh Gupta is talking about, respected CA Dr. Zavre sir, is always a pleasure to attend the seminar addressed by you. Thank you, Nilesh. Okay, there is no query, but it's a compliment. Thankful.
Compliment, yeah.
And I also compliment Ranjit Agarwal, who has also highlighted some of the key features of the UDIN further. Meena Samant is talking about UDINचे जनक आदरणीय झावरे सर यांना सादर प्रणाम. Regulation step protection especially for bankers, not only bankers, Meena, it is for every stakeholder, and it is for us to improve our image. So thank you for that. Somebody is raising hand, please allow them, Shashikant.
Yeah.
Madhur is raising the hand. Madhuri, please allow now. Reshma?
Yeah, Reshma need to allow.
Reshma? I don't know where she is.
हो सर.
अरे तो माधुरीला परमिशन दे. She is raising hand.
1 मिनिट दिली मी.
म्हणून मी तुला सांगितलं अटेंटिव्ह पाहिजे शेवटपर्यंत.
हो आहे, त्यांनाच हे करते.
त्यांनी सगळ्यांना परमिशन द्या, ज्यांना विचारायचं ते विचारतील. म्हणजे एकेकाला नको ओपन करत बसेल, आता काय शेवटचाच टाइम आहे.
But Ranjit, I tell you, today's session is very important for the benefit of members.
Very interactive.
Interact and very elaborate discussion on UDIN. So everybody
If you,
understood
sir,
what is the
just one more issue I would like to discuss with you, sir. This after getting the UDN data, we have seen the 80 lakh UDN where only certificates are used, and they are writing something XYZ certificate, and we are in the process to data mining and finding out the key field, how many kind of certificates member are giving. And you will be happy to know that, sir, we have done a study that in India there is a GDP of $2.7 trillion, almost
Okay.
$3 trillion. And
Very good.
whatever financial transactions are happening in our country, more than 80% of the financial transactions of this country are certified by one professional, and that is chartered accountant.
Chartered accountant. Very good. Very good.
Yes.
Very good. And 50% of the total UDIN is a part of certificates. 50%.
50%. You are right, sir. And directly or indirectly, no financial transaction in this country can move without the signature of chartered accountant. You have to accept it. That is our study with so many forms, reports, certificate of various acts.
In other words, we are giving the message to our members that even though there is digitization, even though there is no GST audit, even though the tax audit report, the limit may be enhanced, nothing to worry as far as chartered accountant is concerned. You are a financial doctor, financial architect, financial engineer, financial lawyer, and a business solution provider.
And these are the not a issue at all that GST audit gone, tax audit. These are the inflationary aspect. The tax audit limit bound to increase because 40 lakhs we started 82. Now we are in 2021. So 40 years it will not. It has to bound. GST audit still you are doing a reconciliation. You should be happy your sign has gone, but still you are doing the same thing with the same piece. Third one, sir, these financial transaction, whether bank loan, government audit, listed company, cooperative sector, a trust, society, whatever you name it, a charitable institution, not a single certificate we are founding which are not certified by chartered accountant. All the banking sector, entire banking sector is certified by chartered accountant.
chartered accountant.
So much of work is there, and members are complaining that we are not getting the. So where is the work is going now? Because of UDN, we are able to find out some loopholes. We are able to, but still huge work is there. Huge work. I'm telling you, sir, huge work. Why member? Even you take the example of insolvency. 3 lakh crore resolution plan took place in last 3 years, and how many IPs are there? 3,000. How many chartered accountant IP? Out of 3,000, 2,200. More than 70% IP are chartered accountant. So 3 lakh is contributed 70% by CA. So what you are talking, so much of work is done by only chartered accountant, and we are complaining that there is no work.
And one of the unique advantage of the UDIN will be based on UDIN, you create your bills and charge the clients.
Yes.
You have the UDIN number. You can give the reference to the bill of UDIN number.
I think Madhuri is
sir,
on screen, so if she has to ask.
Yeah.
Madhuri, you can unmute
So
and
there
ask.
are so there
Any
are
Madhuri is on
questions.
screen. Let her ask now first.
Yeah.
Madhuri,
Yes,
are you?
Madhuri.
Am I audible? Okay, till the time she asks, you can proceed.
Yeah.
Surya
So there is
Shastri.
a question from Meena, whether provisional financials can be certified through UDIN.
No, the first point here is whether provisional balance sheet can be signed by a chartered accountant.
No.
Then where is the point of UDI?
Correct. Absolutely. You are right. I agree with you.
But we have a standard. We have a standard which talks about SRS 4410. Standards of related service, which talks about compilation of the data. So the institute has given a reporting format that you cannot certify you can compile the data, you can write there, I have compiled from these sources, I am not watching the authenticity of the data, and you sign it, generate UDR and give to the client. Because that disclaimer part you can give, but authenticity of the data you cannot certify or provisional data.
Provisional. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Right, sir?
Sir, one
Javadar,
more.
Yes. Kuldeep
Sir, one
Gupta,
more. Kuldeep Gupta. Yeah.
I'll read.
Can
Can
yeah,
we
okay.
certify the financials on current date if the previous professional has not mentioned, I have not understood. For example, for financials of FY 2019-20, whether CA can verify and certify the financials with current date on the date when client approached. Kuldeep, please try to understand when we are talking about the previous professional, in order to carry out audit function, it is necessary to take NOC. In case if the previous auditor has not given NOC within a reasonable time, you can sign. But as far as I understand, 2019-20 financials or financial statements, you want to certify now. There is absolutely no problem if there is a NOC, right? But many times the question arises, 2019-20 is pending, not certified. I have been appointed for 2020-21. Can I sign financial statements of 2020-21 subject to qualification that you have not verified 2019-20? This is the best balance sheet of 19-20. 2021 financial statements are cleared. So that want to say, unless you want to ask more question on that particular, you can again put the question answer. This anonymous attendee is asking the
attendee.
question: if a CA forgotten to
CA.
generate UDIN within 15 days unintentionally, very important, you could put up your name also, but intention and unintention, who is to verify? What is the recourse with him? He has no recourse. In case, right, pray God, if you receive a love letter from ICI, your alma mater, your regulator, face it, and there you can plead it was unintentional, never happened earlier, and probably the lesser, stricter action will be taken against you as a member.
And again, gross negligence is considered as
Yes,
unethical.
yes, you're
If
right.
it is accident, then it may not be.
You're right. You're right. Anybody else want to ask questions?
I think Madhuri had joined, but she is not asking questions. She joined.
She can
for
put in the chat box, or she
asking
can put in question and answer also. In the chat, there is one. So we'll see. Okay. Now, Shastri, what if we rely on financial statement not signed by us, but we use the project finance with number UDIN?
No UDIN. No UDIN, sir.
With no UDIN. What if we rely on financial statement not signed by us, but we use in project finance with no UDIN? See, a chartered accountant can always rely on financial statements certified by others, maybe architect, maybe engineer, subject to you have taken a reasonable care as a professional. Reasonable care. Because I know, Surya, I can just cite you one chartered accountant just passed ECA examination. He is from our Western India Regional Council, Western region, and his boss, earlier boss, was on leave for 15 days. So he requested this young chartered accountant, please sign on my behalf, means your signature you put on the certificate. The expenditure incurred on building was certified on the basis of cost certified by architect, right? And he signed it. Is it right? For financial cost, can I depend on architect certificate, or I have to go through complete expenditure incurred through cash and bank transactions? The answer is second one, not the first one. So you can rely reasonably, but you have to take utmost professional care.
Anybody having questions?
Earlier, I thought that this session will continue only for 1 hour. More than 1 hour, not possible. But Ranjit, you also created a lot of interest, and almost 1 hour 45 minutes we are talking on
Okay,
UD. Shashikant, you have any question? Why you are not asking question?
No, sir, I've already attended 2-3 sessions of yours. So
Okay,
I'm
okay.
almost clear on this.
Okay. Sanjay Kokate has raised the hand. Sanjay, please talk. I think the Reshma, I don't know. Where is she?
हो सर.
Are you are not
Sir.
allowing the members or participants to talk.
Sir,
They can't talk.
मी त्यांना अलाउ टू टॉक करतेय पण तेच जॉईन करत नाहीयेत.
आता संजय कोकाटे पहा बरं तू प्रयत्न कर.
तर आम्ही केला ना त्यांना
काय झालं?
प्रमोट टू पॅनलिस्ट केलं ते
नाही नाही असं नाही होणार. सी संजय कोकाटे
हा
बोला संजय.
Am I audible?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. Sir, this is Sanjay Kokate, chartered accountant from Mumbai.
Yes.
Yeah. My question is that earlier you have answered that if this UDIN is not generated within 15 days, then there is no recourse. If in case that chartered accountant generate UDIN given a incorrect date of signing and it is within 15 days, what will happen?
Can you please clarify further with example?
For example, that actual certificate signing date was 15th of August and he need to be generate this UDIN within 15 days with 30th of August.
No. See, when you have already certified a financial statement on 15th August, how can you sign the same statement on 30th August only for the purpose of adhering to the UDIN direction? That is not right.
Yes.
I think his question is, he has signed on 15th and inadvertently he put 18th as a date for UDIN. Is that the question?
No. No. There may be one example, sir, where 15th was the original date, but that member got this that he has not generated UDIN on 30th of August or 5th of September. In case what he is doing, he can do this that actual signing date was 5th of August, September, and in that he is generating the UDN.
Sanjay, I think my answer is very clear to you. When I created a financial certificate or a statement duly attested on 15th August, I must take UDIN within 15 days from that date and not for the purpose of adherence of 15 days, change this date and make another statement.
So what I have heard, sir, he was saying if I miss the 15 days deadline, I can put any date and generate the UDI.
No. That's
so
it.
Then what is the purpose of UDI?
Correct.
That purpose will be defeated.
Absolutely.
Understood, sir. Understood. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Any other member want to ask any question? Shashikant, conclude kara.
Okay. Sir, thank you very much for explaining us the idea behind UDIN, its journey till implementation, as well as its importance and how it is beneficial to the
रेश्मा
members.
तूच बोलते मध्ये. रेश्मा
हा सर मी नाही आहे.
अरे मग बंद कर ना तू. कंट्रोल कर तू. कंट्रोल कर. तुला समजतंय कोण आहे सिस्टमॅटिकली. ट्रेन हो तुम्ही. असं नका करू. हा बोला.
More the examples given by Ranjit sir, we have understood the importance and how to protect the members by using UDIN more and more. So this was a very interesting session, and we are fortunate to have both of you who are inventor, author, and implementer of this UDIN. So thank you very much for that again. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Javade sir, for your very nice thought process, and I learned many things today also. So
Thank you.
thank you very much, always guiding. And Chitle sir and Sasikant, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Ranjit Bhai, for joining all the way from Kolkata.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you.